Hey Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here and welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we're going to take what works and leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Lights are very bright tonight. And we're going to start with the botanical inspirations for a little botanical inspiration. And then we're going to move over to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional tarot spread. So what you got here is Gerbera Daisy, purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Take not hand. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. Gerbera Daisy. And Sweet Pea. Oh, this would be such a... I actually know a field with both of these that grow in them together. Blissful pleasure. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. Joseph Campbell. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence, and blissful pleasure. Wow. You might be getting one of the good ones, Sagittarius. Most readings have been coming in pretty hardcore this week. Libra's having a great week and everybody else is sort of in some sort of version of hell. So, and it's not just this deck, which is medieval and Renaissance art collages, and that art can be so heavy and so intense. It's just the cards themselves. Even if I had like my softer decks and my more pleasant decks, the messages would still be intense. So. All right, Sagittarius, fingers crossed here. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Well, I don't know if our fingers crossing had anything to do with it, but you've got a lot of emotions here. A very feeling week. We've got 3 cups out of a 7-cup spread. It doesn't mean it's not an alarming number of cups, but it is like this is gonna, well, and then we should have known that with this blissful pleasure and purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. So in your recent past, you have this 3 of cups. You have a friend group here deep sharing, a wide range of emotions. There's some music back here. And it's about belonging with your group, finding your tribe. It's also about belonging, but being different in that belongingness. Some people will be more similar, some people will be more dissimilar in this group, in this friend group or family group. But the core point of it is just sharing our joys and sorrows together and sharing our emotions together. So a very good time, possibly a party, but otherwise just some good friends, some close friendships, some finding your tribe, a sense of having found your tribe, found your people. Everyone's a little different, but that's what makes it cool. That's what makes the music, is all the different instruments playing together. So there is one person here who's catching my attention on just this one. Am I determined to make, is it me? Is it me making these readings not good? There is one person who's sort of distracted and, well, here, let me show you. Sort of distracted, and see, she's looking away. So normally, so this is typically, but there could be someone who's got a wandering eye here. That's as far as I'm willing to go with that, because we have other cards for those situations. But overall, it's just your tribe of weirdos, your people. What did you find here? You found some of your people here. And then in your current situation, you have Knight of Cups. So perhaps out of this group has come a love offering, and specifically for you. In the midst of a storm and tumult is a message of love and peace, and maybe even just a peace offering here. But yeah, in this tumult and in this craziness, there comes plodding in, moving forward, love, an emotional offer that someone's bringing to you, a new emotional beginning. There's some bravery and courage required here. Or maybe you are. I mean, it's somebody. It could be you. It could be somebody else. I'm just rooting for you, right? But it could be you bringing in a love offering for somebody else in the midst of the tumult and the strife, a message of compassion and love. Maybe just support. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but some supportive, loving gesture. There's some bravery here, some courage required. In your inner landscape, you're dealing with this high priestess energy. This is very spiritual energy, intuition, very strong intuition, connected to intuition. You don't have a lap dog, you have a leopard, right? You have a leopard here, and the book is closed. So there's a lot you don't see, and there's a lot you're not understanding. And you might be trying to figure out how to open that book, that could be why you're here watching this reading, is trying to understand something, trying to see something. But you are, there's a sense of holiness here, of connection, of deep intuitive connection, of trying to grasp the ungraspable, trying to tame the untamable, trying to institutionalize, thinking about, this is your hopes and fears, right? So this is what's on your mind, hoping to institutionalize maybe something that's meant to be wild, hoping to, and maybe afraid about how much there is you don't know. But there is like a longing for spiritual connection and a longing to open up this book. But the High Priestess keeps her book closed. This is a closed book test. You either know it or you don't. You either figure it out or you don't. She's not fond of revealing her secrets. She's not fond of telling you what's going on, of telling you where you're going to end up. So you could be afraid of just not knowing where this is going, and it's a little bit wild and unwieldy. This would be a little bit of a wild and unwieldy offer, a brave offer. Courageous, maybe a little reckless, and you're worried about possibly you don't know where this is going, you don't know what the right thing to do is here. Your intuition, maybe it's strong, but it's also just intuition. That's it. It's a closed book test, and you didn't study, is basically the vibe of the High Priestess. You've got to figure it out. There's enough clues in the test that you're going to be able to cross-reference some things. Your intuition is going to guide you through this test. You're not going to be able to be the A+ student on this test, right? You're not going to be able to put that kind of effort into figuring out what's going on and what you should do. And then what's at issue here is this Ten of Swords, but it's in reverse. So Ten of Swords would be the end of a painful cycle coming to an end. The dawn is here. Your attackers are gone. There are no more swords to be put into you, little human pincushion in pain. And this is in the reverse. It's quickly leaving. The pain and the suffering is quickly moving on, almost all by itself. Just it could be freaking you out, like how quickly you're healing from something, how much better you're getting, how fast the dawn appears to be coming today. It could be kind of confusing for you, and maybe alerting, and maybe feeling like, is this too good to be true? Because this isn't as painful as I'm used to this situation being. This isn't as awful as I'm used to it being. Something here might feel a little too good to be true. But nature's helping you get out of this painful situation. It's happening much more easily than you thought. And this could be why you're in this High Priestess mode of like, what is going on here? Why is this so easy? Why is this pain? Why don't I feel this way anymore? Yeah, this blissful pleasure, this Knight of Cups could be bringing in some blissful pleasure. And you're like, where is the sting? Where are the stingers here in this offer? I'm expecting, you bring me a bucket of honey, I'm expecting there's going to be a swarm of bees around that bucket of honey. So you could be a little bit taken off guard here with how sweet this offer seems. And it could feel like it's too good to be true, which has you in this High Priestess mode of trying to figure out what's actually going on and what's going on behind the scenes, what's actually at play here. In your environment, you have an emperor. You have someone with a lot of control and a lot of power. They seem to be the one with the ability to communicate. They have so much strength, so much more than you do. I mean, that's where the contrast is coming in here. You are the high priestess, though, so you can be just a very spiritual person, and then this other person's more worldly, more understanding how to manage things. It could be in management. They could be a boss of some sort. They have a rule. They're a ruler, and they have a right to rule. And this emperor is also, the ball is in their court sort of vibe. Like they are in charge and they're in control of something. The ball is in their court. Maybe you came in with an offer, and you're waiting for them to respond because the ball's on their side of the tennis court, right? And you're like, are you gonna hit that back? Are you even gonna hit it? Did you see what I gave you? If you're identifying as the Knight of Cups, the ball is literally in the Emperor's court. So there's a Knight of Cups and a King of Cups. So I feel like maybe it was you that brought in this offer. And you're kind of sitting here waiting, trying to figure out, like, did they like it? Did they like it? Because it's a closed book and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to discern something, you're trying to understand something. It's not as painful and as awful as you thought it was going to be. And then someone else needs to make their decisions, needs to decide something, understand something. They need to see it for themselves. And make some sort of decision, but they're the one in charge. They're the one in control here. Yeah, your to-do list here is King of Cups. This is coming into this energy, a very zen. I mean, it's sitting right under this Knight of Cups. So maybe you made like an offer and now you kind of need to own that offer and the emotional aspects of it. And that's you. And that's what you did. You grew and you leveled up here from this Knight to this King, or somebody did. It's either you or the other person. But this Knight of Cups, both of these are coming across as you because the Knight of Cups sits right underneath the King. The King of Cups is sitting right underneath the Knight of Cups. So the King of Cups is you, and the energy you're being called towards to embody. And the Knight of Cups, there's a lot of, anyway, you know, though I don't need to figure it out here. You know if you're making an offer or receiving an offer. And I think this blissful pleasure and this cheerfulness, this is this King of Cups. Again, much like the Knight of Cups, we have this tumultuous ocean of feelings back here, just this roiling bunch of feelings. But the King of Cups sits here, stands here on a rock, solid. He's solid. And his cup, his emotional cup, is calm. It's calm, it's placid. He is a master of emotions and not a master of manipulating them, not a master of controlling them, a master of allowing them and taking the information that they offer us. They come in and they offer us information just like our eyes, just like our ears, just like our hands. Our emotions are here offering us information, and then we take that information and we use it, and then we figure out what to do with that information, right? Where are we going to put that? How are we going to respond to these feelings and these emotions? So, and this could also be just a much more mature offer also, like just sitting under this Knight of Cups, there may have been an initial, like, oh my gosh, let's go hang out kind of offer of just like, woof, here we go. More reckless or brave. And now you're coming back and you're like, no, I'm really serious. I really want to hang out with you. I really want to do this. And so there's a maturing here of this offer and of your own feelings. You've matured a little bit. Maybe you've sat and really tried to distill what's going on, tried to figure out what's in your heart, tried to figure out some things. And this seems to be going really well. And so maybe you come back and you make the offer again, but this time more seriously. Maybe it wasn't taken very seriously before, but you are a king here, and your job is to entertain that king energy, to become that ability to handle your whatever emotion comes up. So if the offer is rejected, if this person who has the control and the power in this situation rejects your offer, you're gonna be okay. you're going to be okay, because it's like a lot less painful than you thought it was, right? You're going to be fine, even if you really meant it, even if you really wanted to do this, you're going to be okay. And there is a level of maturing here, and the offer becoming even more solid. And maybe you're communicating that too. No, I really mean this offer. It wasn't just something I said offhand because I was drunk or I was tipsy. It's something that I really meant. I meant this. So please actually do consider it. But also there's a lot of emotional maturity here. You're stable. Other people are freaking out, but you're stable. And where you end up, a possible outcome is 7 of Wands, having to defend yourself against naysayers. So there might be some people here that are like, this is crazy. And maybe that's why you're trying to get, like, you're a little confused by the whole situation. It doesn't seem as harsh or as difficult as you were expecting it to be. And so it might have you a little bit confused and trying to figure out more what's going on. And it's something that can't be figured out. But this is like defending your choices, defending what you said, saying, yeah, I said what I said and I meant what I meant. This could be other people saying, this is a weird direction to go on. Are you sure you want to do this? So there could be friends that don't approve of this, which is something to listen to for sure. But also not something to be obeyed, because you're getting right with yourself. You're getting into your intuition here. So that's what this is. This High Priestess is sitting right over the 7 of Wands, right? So you're in your intuition, in your power. You're owning your intuition and your feeling and your vibe here, because this is a closed book test that you didn't study for. So you're having to get super confident with your decision, with what you want to do here. And then you're going to have to take that confidence out into the real world and defend your decisions, defend what you what you said and what you meant and what you want. Because getting into that High Priestess, you're figuring it out. That as in your inner landscape, you're figuring out what you want. And then it's like as with everybody, I've had difficult decisions to make in my life. And one of those difficult decisions, I took 3 days off work and went and sat in a garden. And when I went into the garden, I was like, I don't know what to do. And then when I left that 3 days, I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And you can either be with me or you can be not with me. But I know where I'm at, and I know what I want out of this situation. And I understand that it's not logical. And I understand that I'm going to have to defend this decision to a lot of people, possibly for the rest of my life, but I'm very clear on it. And that was so helpful, because I have had to defend this decision for 20 years. But when I left that garden, I was completely clear. This is this High Priestess energy that you're in right now internally. You're in that garden. You're figuring out how you feel. You might be, reading, journaling, figuring out how you feel. And you may have to defend that decision for a long time to come, but you're going to be able to handle it completely, because you're the King of Cups. You can handle naysayers. You can handle defending this decision. You're going to have a lot of peace with this decision when you finally figure it out, you're going to have a lot of peace. It doesn't have to be as hard as you think it might be, but you are going to have a lot of peace with that decision. So, and then you'll have to defend it. But that won't be hard once you know what you want to do. It won't be hard to defend it once you're clear. All right, Kuan Yin says, you've got partnership here. This is such a relationship situation here. There's so much here about at least kindred spirits, if not more, but definitely kindred spirits and enjoying somebody else's company. We have friendship here in this 3 of Cups, and we have friendship here working together to bring in a harvest, abundance. Good fortune granted. Just as there are physical seasons upon the earth, the soul too goes through its seasons. Spring in the soul heralds a time of birth. New ideas, new inspirations, new energy to take action, new life, new connections, and new gifts abound. New life and good fortune are headed your way. So, and there's a real teamwork vibe in this card of bringing in the harvest together with somebody else. There's some messages. There's a lot of joy and happiness in this. Bringing something to fruition with your team, with your 3 of Cups, your group here. So All right, Sagittarius, I really like where we ended up here. I hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for your likes and your comments and subscribes. I very much appreciate them. And I think I am doing personal readings this week. I think it's next week that I can't do them. Okay, so I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much.